Hey, everybody, let's get this party started, huh? We're starting to see. Oh, what happened? Okay, we're starting to see some movement. Ooh, lots of movement. Sorry, I was a little bit delayed. I was putting on a fire with my little kiddos. Oops, what'd I do? Man, here. Okay, I'm gonna add a couple of trades here. I'm trading a 0.01 on my skills account, a $3,100 account, and rates unchanged. So they're not lowering them. They're not hiring them. Sounds like a plan. Let's do that. All right. Can add one more. Rates unchanged. I don't know if that's going to be positive for the dollar or negative, but so far it's positive. Doesn't mean anything, but I'm down here lower to these pivot lows. So I'm going to go with that, and then my cutoff point is going to be below this green line, below these the low of the last couple of days here. That's what I'm going to do my setup range as. So we've got a larger view of the 5-minute chart there. This is the euro. I wanted to trade a little bit less volatile pair than, say, the dollar yen or the mighty pound. So, um, yesterday we were selling up in here on the dollar yen, and it came way down. So too bad we didn't hold on to that. So that's it's coming down. The euro's coming down a bit. We'll wait see if it comes down another little bit. Maybe around -15. We'll grab a couple more, see if we get a reversal. From what I read, I think the unchanging rates was priced in pretty well, and they're just wondering what he's going to say for the future because they've been kind of silent the last, with January. Does anybody else feel like January is like the longest month of the year? It feels like January 78th instead of January 31st. It just drags on. And maybe that's because I was you know, partly because I was sick this month, but it seems like that way every year. It seems that January is just a nasty year. 2 years ago, January, I had COVID, got COVID from my brother's family. Okay, I'm going to add another layer here. So I've got two, did I do four right there? I guess I did. Oops. My P3 method, I'll usually just do 2, 3, 4, and that kind of thing, but Mark B says the short days, yeah. Okay, we'll see if we get it back up into the positive. I've got my stops wide. I've got my targets wide. Just watch the stock market too. My screen, other screen here. But yeah, I think a lot of it was already priced in. And from what I read, that everybody's going to be waiting to see what Senor Powell is going to say. I'm just going to take some of these off. It's kind of just lock in some profits. And then if it comes back down, we'll grab the layer again, same layer. This is a live account, so I'm really going to try to be focused on, the the process here. Make sure I trade my process, because that's what I want to be consistent. I'm not in a demo practicing something. So when I'm trading in a live account, that is important, the results that, I deem as important, I want to be as consistent with my process as possible. And I mean, that's what demo accounts should be anyway, is be practicing your process so that it's effective and consistent when you go to the real account. There's no difference, right? You're just trading, trading the same way. But there's always that extra element of, I don't want to mess things up. And so, there's skin in the game here, and I don't want to mess it up. And so there's always that extra element of emotion that we have to be careful about. But not, you can tell it wasn't as big a deal here as some other times that we've gotten with FOMC trading, because this is 0855-ish. And it's only about a 40 pip. Well, it's okay. 40 pip range on that initial candle on the euro. Yeah, it's all right. It's not a huge range. We've seen bigger. Also, I wanted to start as near to 12 o'clock at the top of the hour as I could, so that we can catch on this same recording, we can catch the press conference move. So hopefully we'll be able to catch a little bit of that before this meeting ends. I kind of want it to come back down to that 0818 where I had my previous layer. We captured I had about 50 pips before we started, just trading just a little bit here and there before we got. Shane says, forgot to say good morning to everyone. Good morning. Well, we're in the afternoon now for most of us, but good morning there, Shane. Gotta remember to breathe, especially if you're feeling, me, I'm breathing because of my bum. I don't want to have to run to the bathroom while we're trading. I'm not nervous about the trading, but if you're starting to feel like your heart rate's going up, or if you feel like you're getting nervous about the volatility or whatnot, just remember to breathe. Don't forget to breathe, right? Shane's on coastal time, so it's still morning. Oh, no worries. Vin's here. Hi, Kevin and fellow bees. Okay, so really again, a lot of it's probably already priced in. Everyone's just waiting to see what Mr. Powell says. What's he gonna say? So that's what we're gonna wait for. Ben's in Birmingham. Mark says, why the long side? I don't know. I don't know. We're down here in the lower ranges. That's probably the main reason. At the support. Now that with a news event like this, it could easily just push it down below all these pivot lows. The dollar could. I just think, the sentiment of of potential raising rates this year uh, is going to weaken the dollar. But the thing is fundamentally speaking, there's a lot of times when the markets give a news event and then it should be good for the dollar, and yet the dollar sells off. And the euro goes up, and vice versa. So I don't know. I don't know why I chose the long side other than just I have this bullishness with the euro against the dollar that hasn't come yet. I thought it was going to kick in in the middle of the month, and it hasn't done yet. So I still think we're going to get it. You see on this daily chart how many wicks there are back and forth. It's midnight in India, Kyle. Oh, we need to get you to bed so you don't lose your sleep. But you see these wicks, right? Both on the long side and the downside. There's just lots of indecision. And even though it is, making this downward trend, I've kind of been expecting this bullishness to continue. And to be honest, at the beginning of the year, like over here, I expected it to come down a bit at the beginning of the year and then see it come back up. Now, it's not like I have a crystal ball or anything. I don't. So obviously I was wrong with that, but I still think it could happen. And what better time to do it and to psych people out than FOMC when it seems like, hey, it's good for the dollar. The euro will keep coming down, and then it just makes an opposite direction. So it's almost like a gut feeling that everyone's thinking, well, the dollar should go up and the euro should keep coming down. And I'm just like, I'm just going to go opposite of that because in the past I've thought along with the crowd, group think, and thought, well, this is the way it should be, and then it's not. And I'm like, oh, I should have got on the other side of it. I don't know. Again, no rhyme or reason at this point. But really, when you have volatility, it really doesn't matter what side you go on as long as we get the back and forth, right? And then you have your setup ranges big enough, and you spread out your layers big enough, right? And so that's what looking at the last few days, we're kind of at these support levels. I want to kind of buy into and just see if we can, even if it does come down, layer in, get a bounce, capture some profit. Okay. If it ends up going our direction here, then I'll do some builds into this. Gal says, does BRICS affect here in the long term? I think it might. You know, when that came out, it's kind of a nothing burger, even though it's not a nothing burger, you know. But I don't know how it's going to affect it in the here and now, right? It should affect it in the long term. Obviously, if those countries and then a lot of other countries will jump on that bandwagon, it's gonna affect the dollar in some respect. So, give me a moment here, folks. Just watch this market, but just give me a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to find it first. It's crazy. Okay. Alrighty, folks. All right. Hey, it's the calm before the storm. We got 5 more minutes. Our gold's moving. Silver's moving in the wrong direction. Nice to see any movement at this point with the euro. I wouldn't mind it going against me, another 20 pips, grab another layer. It's kind of what I was thinking it might do. It almost got back down. We were just about the spot that I wanted to add that layer back. But one of the main things with this method, this process, is to hold your horses. It's to wait. Let's just wait until we get that movement. If we try to load the boat right now and try to make some money, we could get caught on the wrong side. We still might get caught on the wrong side, but we want to give ourselves a chance to fix it. And if we do it right now and then it goes against us, we won't have any chance to fix it. Bruce says, what will be good news for dollar dovish on lowering dollar or hawkish on lowering the dollar? I think on anything that will keep the rates the same and or increase the rates, so if they're hawkish on it, that's good for the dollar because, then we'll have better interest rates. You hold on the dollar, you get more money. If you say, well, we're dovish the dollar, that's going to weaken it against the other currencies, and that's the idea, though. But it's just the typical news event, in my experience, it doesn't always do what you think it should. And sometimes it does do it, it just doesn't do it in the timing that you think. That's the other factor you gotta factor in. Okay. Just a few more minutes here. Just a few more minutes. Then if we have to, we could start another meeting. The Zoom room is no longer on the Pro, so I'm gonna have to get my own Zoom room. I was piggybacking off of Sean's, but he's downgraded his Zoom rooms. So I'm thinking about getting my own setup so that I can also stream this on my YouTube channel too. That'll be fun in the future. That'll be fun. But for now, we'll do it with what we've got. So I really don't know what's gonna happen, guys. I mean, you could be going short, you could be going long, and we could justify either direction here. Might be better to just close it down and wait. If you're, you know, if you're not in a position yet, that's probably the best thing to do. We could hedge. I typically don't like to hedge, Vin, because then if you're right on the one direction, and then all of a sudden you have to worry about fixing the other. We may get enough volatility to work both sides, but I'm just going to stick with the long side. Need says I shorted it earlier when it was going up, made its turn, got 248 pips, about $60 my sim account. Well done. Yeah, that's always a fun play, particularly on a choppy day. When you're breaking above these pivot highs here and coming into Previous pivots, look at that. I mean, that was just picture perfect, selling into resistance of a previous pivot, and then it comes back down. Oh, that's just pretty. Really, really like that. That's cool. Okay, at this point, we're just gonna wait here. Vicky's not here to give us the link for the press conference. She says I closed a bit early, but I've been bit too many times before getting greedy. Yep. That's why you have your optimal targets as well as your optimal risk. Then you're okay with taking certain profits and walking away. And you don't have to worry about that. That's how you manage the greed. You got to manage the greed just as much as managing the fear. So nothing wrong with that. Okay, we're gonna start getting some movement. There it comes. Right when I feel like I have to use the restroom again. But let's see if we can hold on here. Let's see if we can hold on. Let's see. Which way? It's gonna psych people to the upside. Go short. That's why we're not building yet. We're waiting to see if it comes back down to these pivot lows. We can add another layer down here. Okay, it's just a matter of waiting to see what the market's going to do. It's right there, smack in the middle of our position of doing nothing, right? Until it breaks above and starts going to the upside, we'll wait to add, and then until it breaks to the downside, we'll wait to add to a fade. Feels like it wants to go to the upside. It's just being held down a bit. And again, not sure it matters to our current trade to know exactly what he's saying because everybody interprets it differently. But again, and on this account, I want to be extra careful. I'm not trying to not trying to hit a grand slam when you really don't know what the market's going to do. We've got about 5 minutes left on our meeting. And today's FOMC is probably just a big nothing burger. If it keeps going up and up and up, would have been nice to keep that layer that we got at the bottom. But again, I wasn't too confident in my bullish position to hold on to it. Jim says up 0.3, so we'll wait for Jerome to drop bad news. Yep, 0.3 is good amount. zero point 0.4. We could probably grab that and see what we have in store here. A lot of indecision. It's right smack on that blue line of this 5-minute chart, which is basically the midpoint of the last couple of days' range. So last 3 days worth of range, it's just right in the middle. But yeah, it does seem to be wanting to push to the upside. That just kind of gives me a gut feeling that it's gonna have a nice drop here, just because. I'm gonna follow that gut. I'm gonna take this layer here, and if it ends up going our direction, we'll build to it. But comes back down, we'll add back to this layer. But I want to just capture some of those profits. Just build up this account just a little bit. Because I have I have these conflicting hunches, right? You have this long-term hunch that, hey, the market, the euro should see a bounce here in January. It hasn't yet, so maybe it'll start seeing that, you know, coming forward, and then you get in the heat of the moment, and it's like, I don't know if it's gonna go up. Feels like it's gonna come down. I'm just gonna grab that layer. We're about 18 pips away from that first layer, so I'm okay to fade into this with a layer depth of 18 pips is pretty good, even if we want a big range, even if it comes all the way down to here. So we've only got a minute and a half left on this meeting. So what I'll do is I'll just start up a new meeting. You guys want to keep watching. Yeah, it's the little person on each shoulder talking to me. Yep. Yes, indeed. Okay, this seems to be good. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to this guy now. That was nice. Take a little bit of profit and then grab the layer again. It's looking really good. Okay, this meeting's gonna bump us out. So I'm gonna have another, it should be the same link. So everybody, let's pop out and we'll pop back in again. I'll put the link in the Discord. See you in a minute. Welcome back, everybody. Everybody who came back. We're just gonna go move it to the top of the hour here. What's it gonna do now? Is it gonna deciding to move back down? This bullish move seems a little suspect to me. We'll still hold on here, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trail trail this up pretty tight. Bills. It's hitting that resistance right at this previous pivot here. It needs to break this guy. Needs to break this guy. There's other resistance on other markets that are doing similar, yeah, hitting similar resistance. My gut says to take it and to start shorting. It's gonna follow my gut. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna follow my gut. Inflation's still too high is the message. Ah, so that would mean keeping rates where they are for a while, or even possibly raising them one more time before bringing them down. So that is good for the dollar, and that's why it's going up. The euro. That's why the dollar's coming down. See, that's the problem with interpretation. You can interpret it however you like. But I'm going to start fading the move up. Despite my long-term feeling of the euro going up, I think we'll get some more choppiness here. We'll give it a few more minutes here, but again, I mean locking in, let's see, I started with like 50 pips, got out 220, 219 now on this account. 0.65 is a decent day. Again, I'm not trying to knock it out of the park each and every day, just trying to build it slowly, show that discipline to Ron and to Sean. I heard that Sean paid me a compliment last week. Who was it that told me? Scal, Gal, you told me that. That in his trading room he said that I was more disciplined than him. That's funny, Sean. Uh, I think he was just being nice, trying to build me up, saying that I'm more disciplined. I don't know, maybe in my trading rooms I am. Maybe when I'm on the spot I am, but not afterwards. Not in private. In private, I get loosey goosey just as much as anyone. Probably more so with these smaller accounts. Yeah, it's slowing down for sure. These slower accounts have been hard for me to slower. These smaller accounts have been harder for me to trade because I'm used to trading larger amounts. So I really have to focus on just the percentages. That's been one of my issues trading apiary. I stay disciplined and consistent for a while, and then I get impatient and try to knock it out of the park or do something special, after 3 months of really good trading, and in the past, when we had, 3 months of profitable trading to move up the capital levels, I'd be on that third month, I'd be on that last week of the third month, and then my brain would just do wacky things. And I'd think, oh, I'm just going to do something special when I should have just turned it off and just moved up the capital level for the next month, and I do something stupid, you know. But well, we captured some good longs, and they're starting to falter here a little bit, aren't they? The longs here are starting to falter, it seems. Oh, that's really not good. Seems to be slowing down. I just think it's gonna start coming down a little bit. I don't believe I don't believe the bulls here. They haven't convinced me. Try to convince me. Even though I made some money with you bulls here, you guys have not convinced me. You're not convincing me. I want to grab another layer. I'm just waiting for it to get just above that price cycle line. This one right there. Come on. Psych me out. Come on. Dare ya. Keep going up. Grab another layer before you go down. Before you go back down to that blue line. That midpoint. It's just gonna cross back and forth here. And even if it comes up, it'll come back into the range. And we're at what? 0858 here to 0887. That's the 30 pip range. We'll be able to withstand a little bit more. If it breaks that, that's the break. So that'll give us one more chance to make a move, but it might not go up. I think it just will start coming down again here. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Feels like it wants to keep coming down. Uh, there we go. Let's build into this. Let's do to that price cycle line, and then we'll put our targets here, down in here. Wow, what's everyone thinking? Where's everyone at? Do you think? Still got 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Sometimes that top of the hour is key. Mark says I'm good at 0.33. It's too much indecision. Yeah, I should probably do the same. but I want to show you how we trade this, right? This probably has to be the slowest FOMC that we've done in the last year. It's the slowest in recent memory, at least. We've got a good compilation of uh of FOMC trading. Whitney says I caught the bottom over 300 pips. Nice. Buying the bottom, catching the bounce. Very nice. My optimal profit is around that 0.8%. Let's see if we can capture that. What's it gonna do? Out at 0.5. Thanks, Kat. You're welcome, Bruce. Well, I didn't do it. You did. Nice work. Nice work there. What's it want to do here? Bounce back up. I think it might come back to that blue line, but it may decide to bounce back to the upside at this point. We still got plenty of room, even if it goes against us here. Yeah, that's good, Whitney. Hold on to a couple runners. Practice that holding on to winners principle. That's what we're working on. I had a feeling that we get a pullback. We got it. Just a matter of, is it gonna, pull back all the way back down? 'Cause sometimes we get that. We get first move, second move, third move on FOMC. Here we go. What's it gonna do? Got 5 minutes to the top of the hour. We'll trade a little bit past the top of the hour and see what it gives me. But if I get about, 0.84 or 5, 0.85, that's probably satisfactory. Right up there, that 3,200. We could close that up. This, like I mentioned yesterday in my trade on the straight trading room, the skills account's done really well. Been really consistent by focusing and concentrating on trading small and trading slow and trading at the right time. And although it's a small amount, it's a small account. That's the type of discipline that I need on all of my accounts. I get too cavalier at times. And it puts me into pickles that I have to get myself out of and wait myself out of. So trading smaller, trading slower, trading with more concentration, with the skills that I know I have. It's the way to do it. And just add a couple more at that price cycle. That's kind of hanging around here. 4 more minutes till the top of the hour. We'll see what it brings. Sometimes this waiting gives you too much time to think, you know, but instinct and intuition is working today. Mark says your mentorship has had a calming effect to my trading. It has improved. Thanks, Kevin. I'm so glad to hear that, Mark. Thanks for sharing that. I really try to provide good value and for traders that, you know how to read price action and have their strategy down. That's all well and good, but then you get into the nitty-gritty, trying to manage yourself while you're trading, and that's the hard part. That's what I'm trying to provide is help with that. And yeah, just trading in a place of safety in your mind and keeping your account safe will keep your mind safe, right? And so Gal says, true. I'm glad that that's helping you out. We'll just keep on keeping on, right? Train ourselves to make this a habit. Okay, we're coming to that blue line, and I'm kind of at my optimal target above that 3,200. It's looking to be a good spot, but I think I just want to hold on and see what the next couple of minutes brings with the top of the hour. I think it might bounce at the top of the hour. I think this might just be a small pullback and then it bounces down. But another 70 pips, 0.87. Oh, that's nice. 0.83. Very nice. It's right on that blue line where I thought it'd come back down to. So the midpoint. Let's see what it does though here at the top of the hour. My gut says back up. Maybe it'll just drop out of bed here. I don't know. I don't know, but being able to not know what the market's going to do, right? And have no clue what the market's going to do, and then still come out 227 pips from where we started an hour ago, making 0.83% on the day. Vin's at 1% green. Awesome. Gao says, I recently learned not to jump into trades around the news release at a horrible cost. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, we fully understand that, don't we, folks? Okay, well, new hour here. Let's see what it's going to give us. Going to give us a nice movement down. Psych is back up. P3 lectures help in controlling emotions. Yep, that's what we're trying to do. Well, should I get back in? This point, this account has done its job. The temptation is to get back in, want to make more, want to make that little extra. But yeah, it's top of the hour. We've got an hour left to the market. It's probably a good time to just let it be and see where, it ends up today and then tonight, kind of reevaluate where we want to go. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to just shut it down for the day and call it good and call it successful. And when it comes to managing our accounts and managing our trades, this is where we want to be. This is a good spot to be. When it comes to sorry, I'm just looking at another trade that I got here. I don't know how that's one's gonna play out, but That would have come down to our target. That's all right. It's all right. We accomplished some good things. Vince has had many losses trading news, especially not when not changing directions when we should. Yeah, we changed directions right at the right time, didn't we? And here we go. This is looking pretty solid to the downside. It's feeling like this is kind of what we were expecting. That's a much bigger move. Starting to feel it. Starting to feel it. Okay, that was a good move. I just made back in 3 minutes on one of my accounts that I lost on Monday. Oh, actually, just not quite. I lost about 6 grand on Monday, and then 3 minutes I put on a trade, caught that move, just made 5,500 on that account. That was nice. Kind of risky, but followed my gut. Okay, glad I didn't go long there. I was thinking about going long, and now we're seeing that hey, there is a move, but interesting that just a recap here that we get a first move, we get the second move, and then we get the original first move. That's very typical of FOMC. And so when it was stalling up here on the longs, it just I wanted it to come up here, but I can't you can't trade what you want. Trade what you see. Could have easily kept going up. But I had a plan for selling into that and see if we could catch a move like this, which was my gut feeling. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope that you are successful in finding some good trades for yourselves and locking in that profit and then staying, right? Just taking it and wait until tomorrow for the next move. Let's just see what's going to bring us. But great trading here, folks. Hope that you all have a great rest of your day. I'll post this recording on my YouTube channel and put it on the on our FOMC recordings, and then we'll just put it in the archive. So great, again, great to be with you. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. It's my pleasure to do what I can. You guys are great, and it's just a great little community we've got, and I just want to do everything I can to help where I can. So keep on keeping on, folks, and uh, we'll see you next time. Okay, see ya.